She's stealing our paychecks. My voice exploded like a grenade in Pinnacle Solutions' Chicago break room, shattering the hum of coffee machines and chatter. I clutched the payroll files I'd uncovered, hands trembling with rage as coworkers froze, eyes wide with shock. I'd just found proof, gut-wrenching, undeniable proof, that our boss, CEO Vanessa Reed, was siphoning thousands from our wages, and my blood boiled like a volcano. I stormed to Vanessa's sleek corner office, heart pounding like a war drum, and burst through the door. She looked up from her desk, her designer blazer an icy smile chilling my spine like a winter gust. "Sophie, you're unhinged," she said, voice smooth as silk, leaning back with a dismissive wave. "What's this nonsense about?" "Nonsense?" I slammed the files onto her desk, voice trembling with fury, tears burning my eyes. "You're skimming our payroll, Vanessa. I found the transfers, $60,000 funneled to your personal accounts." Her eyes flickered with panic, but she laughed, a sharp, cold sound that cut like a blade. "You're delusional, Sophie. Those are legitimate business expenses. You're out of your depth." "Out of my depth?" I stepped closer, tears prickling, voice fierce with defiance. "This is our money, Vanessa. We earned every single cent." She stood towering over me, her voice a razor's edge. "You're a lowly clerk, Sophie. You don't understand finance. Drop this now, or you're gone." I leaned in, voice low, shaking with resolve. "I'm not dropping it. You're a thief, and I'll make sure everyone knows it." Her smile vanished, voice dripping venom. "You're fired. Security's on the way. Get out." I grabbed my bag, heart a roaring wildfire, and marched past Ellie, my confidant and closest ally at Pinnacle. Her eyes dodged mine, her silence a dagger in my gut. "Ellie, you saw the files," I said, voice breaking, tears spilling down my cheeks. "I can't, Sophie," she whispered, voice shaky, her face pale. "She'll destroy me." "Destroy you?" I said, tears flooding, voice raw with betrayal. "She's destroying us all, and you're just standing there." I left, my heart vowing to make Vanessa pay for her greed, to tear down her empire of lies. The memory hits like a sledgehammer. Tom, a junior accountant, crushed last year by Vanessa's wrath. He'd spotted payroll discrepancies, his voice quiet but firm in a team meeting. Vanessa humiliated him, her voice dripping with scorn. "You're clueless, Tom. Stick to your spreadsheets." She slashed his hours, then restructured his role out of existence. I found him in the parking lot, eyes red, his voice a broken whisper. "I just wanted to help." He quit, his spirit shattered, his dreams reduced to dust. That pain fuels me now. Vanessa's theft isn't just about money. It's about lives, dreams, and trust, all crushed under her heel. That night, my apartment was a war zone, my laptop glaring like a battle station, payroll files I'd legally copied before my firing scattered like shrapnel across my desk. The evidence was a screaming indictment. $65,000 diverted to Vanguard Consulting, a shell company directly linked to Vanessa's personal accounts. I drafted an email to Pinnacle's board chair, Lena Ortiz. "Emergency meeting? I have proof Vanessa's stealing from payroll." My finger hovered over send, fear clawing at my chest like a wild animal. This could end my career, my reputation, everything, but I clicked it, heart racing with defiance. Lena replied within minutes. "Tomorrow, 9 a.m., my office. Bring everything." Hope sparked, fierce and radiant, a beacon in the darkness. Vanessa's reign of terror was starting to crack. My phone buzzed. "Ellie, Vanessa's trashing you to the whole company. Be careful." I ignored it, fists clenched, tears drying to steel. Let her squirm. She was about to face a reckoning. The image stings like a fresh wound. Maria, a payroll clerk, crushed 6 months ago. She'd questioned missing funds in a private meeting with Vanessa, her voice nervous but brave. Vanessa gaslit her, her voice syrupy and patronizing. "You're mistaken, Maria. Don't spread rumors." Then she cut Maria's shifts, forcing her to resign. I saw Maria in the break room, packing her things, tears streaming down her face. I needed this job for my kids. She left, her hope broken, her family's future dimmed. That pain drives me now. Vanessa's greed is a plague, and I'm the cure. Back at my desk, I dug deeper into the files, my heart pounding as I uncovered more transfers. $80,000 total, each one a stab to my team's trust. My doorbell rang, sharp as a gunshot. Ellie stood there, clutching a USB drive, her eyes red, her body trembling with fear. "I copied her emails," she sobbed, tears streaming down her cheeks, her voice barely a whisper. "Please, don't tell anyone it was me." "Why now?" I asked, voice raw, the sting of her earlier betrayal cutting deep. "You left me to burn, Ellie. I was alone out there." "I was terrified," she cried, her voice shattering like glass. "She threatened my family, Sophie. I'm trying to be brave now, please." I stared at her, heart torn between anger and pity, then took the USB, my voice softening but firm. "Okay, Ellie. You're in this fire with me now. There's no turning back." She nodded, fleeing into the night, her sobs echoing in the hallway. I plugged the USB in, my pulse racing as I opened the files. Emails from Vanessa, brazenly confirming her scheme, joking about easy money and foolproof cover-ups. My heart surged with grim triumph. This wasn't just evidence, it was a guillotine, and Vanessa's neck was on the block. Lena's office was a fortress of glass and steel, her presence commanding as she leaned forward, her eyes razor-sharp and piercing. "Sophie, you're shaking like a leaf," she said, her voice steady but laced with urgency. "What has Vanessa done to you?" I swallowed hard, my heart racing like a runaway train, my voice raw with desperation. "She's stealing from our payroll, Lena, siphoning our wages to a fake company she controls. I've got the files. Everything." Her jaw tightened, her voice low and probing, like a judge weighing a verdict. "That's a massive accusation, Sophie. You've got hard, undeniable proof?" I slid the files across her desk, my voice trembling but fierce with conviction. Bank transfers, fake invoices, her own emails, $80,000 diverted to Vanguard Consulting, a shell company tied to her accounts. She fired me to bury this truth. Lena scanned the documents, her eyes narrowing, her voice firm and resolute. "This is dynamite, Sophie. Why risk your entire career for this?" "Because it's our money," I said, tears prickling at the edges of my eyes, my voice blazing with righteous fury. "My team's pouring their souls into this company, breaking their backs, and she's robbing us blind, laughing all the way to the bank." She nodded, her voice warm but steely, a spark of respect in her gaze. "I'm calling an emergency board meeting. Vanessa's going to answer for this, and she won't like the questions." My heart surged with hope, but fear gnawed at me, cold and sharp like a blade. "She'll fight dirty, Lena. Vanessa's ruthless. She'll try to destroy me." "Then fight dirtier," Lena said, her smile fierce, a call to war that ignited my resolve. "I'm in your corner, Sophie. Let's take her down." As I left, my phone buzzed. "Ellie. Vanessa's spreading lies about you, saying you're a disgruntled thief. Watch your back." I ignored it, my fists clenched, tears drying to steel. Let her squirm. She was about to face a storm she couldn't control. The image burns like a brand. Leo, an IT technician, broken last spring by Vanessa's cruelty. He'd discovered odd payroll transfers, his voice cautious but determined in an email to Vanessa. She berated him in a team call, her voice dripping with contempt. "You're overstepping, Leo. Know your place." His system access was revoked, his job eliminated in a sham layoff. I saw him packing his desk, eyes hollow, his voice a faint whisper. I just wanted answers. His defeat sears me now. Vanessa's lies are a cancer, eating away at trust, and I'm the scalpel to cut them out. Back at my apartment, I dove deeper into the evidence, my heart pounding as I uncovered more transfers. $95,000 total, each one a betrayal of my team's hard work. Vanessa's emails were brazen, gloating about outsmarting the grunts and securing my future. My stomach churned, but my resolve hardened. I sent Lena a detailed summary. More proof. Her emails confess everything. This was no longer just a fight. It was a crusade. My phone rang, the sound jarring in the quiet. Vanessa, her voice a venomous hiss that sent a shiver down my spine. Sophie, you're digging your own grave. Stop this now, or I'll bury you. Bury me? I laughed, my voice raw, tears close but defiance burning hotter. You stole our paychecks, Vanessa. I'm exposing your rot, and you can't stop me. You're nothing, she snarled, her voice shaking with rage, cracks forming in her composure. I'll crush you. Your reputation, your future, everything. Try it, I said, my voice steady, a fire roaring in my chest. I've got the board, and they're coming for you. I hung up, my heart racing, fury fueling every breath. She was unraveling, her empire of lies crumbling under the weight of truth. The memory cuts like a knife. Nina, a receptionist, crushed last fall by Vanessa's manipulations. She'd overheard Vanessa joking about extra profits from payroll, her voice trembling as she reported it to HR. Vanessa demoted her, her voice cold and cutting. You're replaceable, Nina. Don't test me. I found Nina sobbing in the stairwell, packing her belongings, her voice broken. I thought I belonged here. Her defeat hardens my resolve. Vanessa's theft is a soul crusher, and I'll end its reign with every ounce of my strength. Ellie texted, her words frantic. Vanessa knows I helped you. She's threatening to blacklist me. Guilt stabbed at me, tears falling, but I replied, Hold on, Ellie. She's finished. We're almost there. I prepared for the board meeting, my heart pounding like a drumbeat of war. Vanessa's emails were a guillotine, her lies the neck on the block. I wasn't just fighting for myself anymore. This was for Tom, Maria, Leo, Nina, and every soul Vanessa had broken. Lena's boardroom was a pressure cooker, the air thick with tension as she slid my files across the table to the board, her voice sharp and unyielding. Sophie's uncovered a massive fraud, she said, her eyes blazing with righteous fury. Vanessa's stealing from our payroll, $95,000 and counting, diverted to a shell company she controls. My hands shook as I faced the board, my voice trembling but fierce with conviction. She siphoned our wages to Vanguard Consulting, a fake entity tied to her accounts. These emails, her own words, prove she's a thief. A board member, his face stern, challenged me, his voice dripping with skepticism. Vanessa's driven record profits for Pinnacle. Why should we trust a fired clerk over our CEO? Because I'm telling the truth, I said, tears prickling at the corners of my eyes, my voice raw with passion. She fired me to silence me, to bury her crimes. But I'm here with the evidence. Vanessa burst through the door, her eyes wild, her voice venomous and unsteady, her composure cracking like thin ice. Sophie's lying. She's a bitter, disgruntled nobody, sabotaging me with forged documents. Lying? I shot back, my voice raw, tears close, my heart pounding with fury. You stole our paychecks, Vanessa. These files scream your guilt, and you can't hide from them. She laughed, a shaky, desperate sound that echoed in the room, her voice rising in panic. You're a pathetic clerk, Sophie. This is a stunt, a disgusting lie to drag me down. Pathetic? I said, slamming the emails onto the table, my voice trembling with defiance, my heart a blazing furnace. You're the thief, Vanessa. Your own emails betray you, gloating about your easy money, the board members murmured, their faces darkening with doubt, their whispers sharp as knives. Lena stood, her voice cold as steel, cutting through the chaos. We're launching a full audit of payroll, Vanessa. You're suspended, effective immediately, pending investigation. Vanessa's face paled, her voice cracking, panic seeping out like blood from a wound. You're siding with her? Over me? After all I've done for Pinnacle? No, Lena said, her eyes piercing Vanessa's soul like daggers. We're siding with the evidence, with justice. You've betrayed this company and its people. As I left the boardroom, Vanessa cornered me in the hallway, her voice a low, venomous hiss, her eyes glinting with rage and desperation. You'll regret this, Sophie. I'll make sure you never work again. Regret? I said, tears streaming down my cheeks, my voice steady as granite, my heart unbowed. You're the one falling, Vanessa. I'm just the spark that lit the fire. She stepped closer, her breath hot, her voice a snarl. You think you've won? I'll drag you down with me. Try it, I said, my voice a low growl, tears drying to steel. I'm not afraid of you anymore. The memory sears like an open wound. Javier, a data analyst, broken last winter by Vanessa's ruthlessness. He'd flagged payroll errors in a detailed email, his voice steady and professional. Vanessa mocked him in a team meeting, her voice dripping with scorn. You're irrelevant, Javier. Stay in your lane. She froze his projects, then pushed him out with a sham performance review. I saw him packing his desk, tears falling, his voice faint. I thought I could fix it. His pain drives me now. Vanessa's greed is a dream killer, a thief of hope, and I'll end its reign with every fiber of my being. That night, I sent the board additional evidence, $110,000 traced to Vanessa's accounts, each transfer a betrayal of trust. My hands trembled as I hit send, knowing this was the final nail in her coffin. Ellie called, her voice frantic, tears choking her words. Vanessa knows I helped you. She's threatening to blacklist me, to ruin my life. Guilt crashed over me, tears falling as I gripped the phone. Ellie, I'm so sorry I pulled you into this storm. I didn't mean for you to get hurt. Stop, she said, her voice fierce despite her sobs, a spark of defiance breaking through. She's the monster, Sophie, not you. Finish her. For me. For all of us. I nodded, my heart blazing with resolve, tears drying. I will, Ellie. I promise I prepared for the final board confrontation, my heart pounding like a drumbeat of war. The evidence was overwhelming, bank records, invoices, emails, all pointing to Vanessa's guilt. This wasn't just about me anymore. It was about Tom, Maria, Leo, Javier, and every soul Vanessa had crushed under her greedy heel. I was their voice, their vengeance, and I wouldn't falter. Pinnacle's boardroom was a cauldron of raw, electric tension. Lena, 9 board members, Vanessa, and me, the air thick with the weight of impending judgment. Vanessa's smile was a cracked mask, her eyes darting like a cornered animal's, sweat beading on her brow as Lena spoke, her voice a guillotine of steel. Sophie's evidence is airtight, undeniable. Vanessa, explain the $110,000 diverted to your shell company, Vanguard Consulting. Vanessa laughed, her voice strained, her hands twitching with nervous energy. It's a misunderstanding, a clerical error. Sophie's forging lies to frame me, to destroy everything I've built. Forging! I stepped forward, my voice raw, tears flooding my eyes, my heart pounding with righteous fury. You stole our wages, Vanessa. You fired me to hide your crimes, but the truth is out. You're a liar, she shouted, her voice cracking, her eyes wild with desperation, her composure shattering. I built Pinnacle from nothing, and you're a nobody trying to tear it down. Built it? I said, slamming the emails onto the table, my voice trembling with defiance, my heart a roaring furnace. You robbed us blind, Vanessa? These emails? Your own words? Prove you're a thief, gloating about your easy money. The board members whispered, their faces grim, doubt turning to certainty as they flipped through the evidence. Lena stood, her voice icy and unyielding, cutting through the room like a blade. Vanessa, you're terminated, effective immediately. The authorities have been notified, and a criminal investigation is underway. Vanessa's jaw dropped, her voice desperate, pleading, cracking under the weight of her defeat. You're throwing away my legacy, my entire career, for her? She's a nobody, a fired clerk. Nobody, Lena said, her eyes skewering Vanessa's soul, her voice a whip of disdain. You threw it all away with your greed, your betrayal of this company and its people. Sophie's the hero here, not you. Vanessa staggered, her face ashen, tears glinting in her eyes, but her voice still spat venom. You're all fools, blinded by her sob story. No, a board member snapped, his voice sharp, his patience gone. We're blinded by your lies, Vanessa. Get out! As I left the boardroom, Vanessa lunged at me in the hallway, her voice a low, venomous hiss, her tear-streaked face twisted with rage. You'll burn for this, Sophie. I'll make sure you never work again, that your name is poison. Burn? I said, tears streaming down my cheeks, my voice steady as granite, my heart unbowed. You're already ashes, Vanessa. I'm the flame that exposed you, and I'm still rising. She stepped closer, her breath hot, her voice a snarl. You think you've won? I'll drag you down with me, make you regret ever crossing me. Try it, I said, my voice a low growl, tears drying to steel, my resolve ironclad. I'm not afraid of you anymore. You're nothing now. The pain lingers like a scar. Sarah, an HR assistant, broken last summer by Vanessa's manipulations. She'd reported payroll concerns to management, her voice trembling but determined. Vanessa gaslit her, her voice sweet but lethal. You're confused, Sarah. Don't make trouble. Then she eliminated Sarah's role in a reorganization. I found Sarah packing her desk, sobbing, her voice faint. I thought I was safe here. Her defeat fuels me now. Vanessa's lies shatter lives, and I'll ensure they never do again. That night, Ellie appeared at my apartment door, her face pale, her body trembling, tears streaming down her cheeks. Vanessa blacklisted me, she cried, her voice shattering like glass. She's telling everyone I'm a traitor, that I'm unhireable. Guilt crashed over me, tears falling as I pulled her into a hug, my heart aching for her pain. Ellie, I dragged you into this storm, and I'm so sorry. I never wanted you to get hurt. Stop, she said, her voice fierce despite her sobs, a spark of defiance breaking through. She's the monster, Sophie, not you. We beat her, together. I'd do it again. I held her tighter, my heart swelling, tears mingling with hers. Together, I said, my voice a vow, my resolve burning brighter than ever. We're stronger than her lies. The audit obliterated Pinnacle's financial facade, $140,000 traced to Vanessa's accounts, wages stolen from every employee, trust shattered into fragments. She was indicted for fraud, her name branded toxic, her empire reduced to rubble. I launched True Pulse, a consultancy rooted in integrity and justice, and Lena hired me to rebuild Pinnacle's payroll system, offering triple my old salary as a consultant, her faith in me a radiant beacon in the storm I'd weathered. Vanessa called, her voice a broken shadow, dripping with desperation, a ghost of her former arrogance. Sophie, you destroyed me, she sobbed, her voice shattering, raw with despair. My career, my life, everything's gone. Destroyed? I laughed, tears of triumph streaming down my cheeks, my heart soaring like a comet across a clear sky. You stole our lives, Vanessa. You robbed us, crushed us. and I just showed the world your truth, your greed. I'm nothing now, she whispered, her voice faint, tears audible through the phone. Was it worth it, Sophie? Ruining me? You made it worth it, I said, my voice steady, fierce with resolve, my heart radiant with victory. You betrayed us, broke us, but I rebuilt from your ashes. You're the one who chose this path. She hung up, silenced, defeated, her world in ruins. Months later, True Pulse thrived. 8 clients, a fierce and loyal team, Ellie, my co-founder, her courage reborn after escaping Vanessa's shadow. Pinnacle recovered under new leadership, its culture cleansed of Vanessa's poison, her threats reduced to empty air. I stood in my office, a photo of my old Pinnacle team pinned to the wall, and smiled through tears of victory, my heart full and radiant. The memory of those we lost lingered. Tom, Maria, Leo, Javier, Sarah, and countless others, their dreams crushed by Vanessa's greed. But their pain had fueled my fight, their voices carried in my vengeance. I'd turned betrayal into triumph, proving that justice burns brighter than any lie, that truth can shatter even the mightiest empire of deceit. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge is rising so high they beg for your mercy, only to find you've soared far beyond their reach, a star they can never touch, a light they can never dim.